Hey all, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to come on real quick and wish you all a happy Martin Luther King Day. I really wanted to just kind of reflect back on everything that's going on right now. You know, I just think that a lot of stuff is coming to the forefront. I think that racial injustice is at the forefront because of a lot of stuff that we have witnessed in the last 5 years or so. We all just have to just keep moving forward and start rising above our differences and moving towards what's aligning to us on a soul level, our values, ethics, justice, and moving in the same direction instead of in this fear opposition mode. I feel like that it's good, it's positive. You know, I always feel like I'm always getting messages from my spirit guides about segregation and just how it is designed, like our school systems, our towns, they're designed to separate us from other races, okay? Whether it is African American, whether it is, you know, Spanish, whatever it is, there's all different ethnicities that we are segregated from. And we have to realize that we have put those barriers in place. There are boundaries in place. There are many towns that exist today that you cannot cross over the highway if you are not a certain ethnicity, okay? So I think that right now we just have to come to an awareness of how we bridge the gap between how we view other cultures and who they are, and trying to not divide ourselves, because that's how the enemy wins. That's how they divide and conquer us, is if we are separated from one another. And you know, many people are put on our path as soul family for a reason, because they are here to help humanity and the world. And if we only see the shallow on anything, I'm shallow on just how people look, okay? Just in general of how pretty you are or how handsome you are, you know what I mean? If we put that even aside, it's like, and we started to see people through a soul level, we would be in such a different state of consciousness right now with everyone, because none of that other stuff matters, okay? It doesn't matter. But we also have to have an appreciation and an understanding of why certain races are where they are, or why, you know, we assume everyone's just like us, and they're not. And they've had completely different backgrounds and upbringings, and a lot of it, most of it is out of their control. It is completely out of their control. So for us to sit here and judge why a certain race is the way they are, or even to put them in a box like that, assuming that they're all the same, you know, just because of a skin color, is just ignorance. It's just plain ignorance. And we cannot look at people on such a one-sided box level anymore. And I think that's what we're ascending right now. It happens obviously with women, it happens with men, and it happens everywhere. That shit really exists. And if we don't, you know, change the conditions of how we view people and move through this segregation, I'm talking about the US, okay? Because I don't know about other countries and how they are. But the US is definitely, I feel like, bred and set up to go against other races, okay? And instead of identifying, you know, where the origin of that is from, you know, we saw everything with the pipeline, okay? With the Native Americans, all right? We go through and ruin their water with oil. Why do we do that? Why do we, I mean, I think it's coming to light more and more, everything that has happened to the indigenous people, to Native Americans, what's happened to the land, what has happened to who they were. There were times in history where they were no longer allowed to dance. They were no longer allowed to sing and celebrate. I'm not going to go into the whole diatribe on Native Americans, but you know, it's like we are not looking at, we're just inhumane. We're like freaking inhumane. That's what we are. We are inhumane. We don't think about anybody else but money, power, and greed. And if it doesn't fit into that box, and then it affects your wallet, then all of a sudden, you know, we just turn the cheek, and that's ridiculous. You know, many of us have to stand up in our own lives in ways and take responsibility and accountability for what's right and wrong. We have to stand up to people around us every day to change that dynamic, depending on where you sit, where you are, whatever office you're in, whatever workplace you're in. And sometimes that's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to step up to people who feel so strongly one way, and then for you to take a stand and be like, hey, that's not okay. Hey, why do you think like that? Where did you even get that from? And so I feel like that's what we're breaking down right now. I feel like that is where we're shifting right now, is the thoughts and how we think, and how we congregate around that thinking, how we have this little morning powwow around coffee to talk about a certain group, okay? Because it makes us feel good about ourselves. Why does that make us feel good about ourselves? You know, talking crap about somebody else, you know? It's like, what is it that really fills you up? That's just low level energy. It's not doing anything. It's not feeding anything. It's feeding an ego. That's the kind of situations that we are now having to shift, and people are going to have to stand up and be the voice in a group of maybe 10 people who think one way and are complete douchebags, and then somebody has to stand up and kind of give them a reality check. Like, that's kind of where we're at right now. So I just feel like on this day I would like to think that, I don't know. I would like to think that this is kind of the energy, or the force of energy that is coming through, is like, you know, strength, power, justice, and just moving forward, you know, in your intuition, in your honest thoughts, okay? And not being afraid of the enemy or how they view you, or if you're going to lose your freaking job because of it. Because people have to start waking up. People have to take a stand. People have to start realizing that it's not okay to be these judgmental, discriminatory assholes, okay? Like, we cannot be this anymore. It is time for us to freaking grow the F up. It's like we're dealing with 5-year-olds in our country. That's what it is, like a bunch of 5-year-old babies. And that is the freaking, that's the narrative for many, many cities, okay? And groups and towns. It's like this gossip, you know, it's like the low level gossip crap, okay? And we have to rise above that and have real conversations about what's really going on, because that's the distraction. That's the illusion. The gossip is the illusion. The gossip is the distraction from the truth of what's really going on, okay? We have a trafficking crisis, okay? We have a technology crisis. We have a lot of, okay, we have a war crisis. We have, I mean, that's the real topics that people need to be talking about. And the shallow gossip shit that of talking crap about other people is the distraction from the truth. So if you want to engage in that rhetoric, you're freaking part of the problem. You're part of the freaking problem, because those coffee talks in the morning should be about what the fuck is going wrong with our country right now. We need to do something about it, okay? That's the rhetoric that has to change, all right? So I'm coming at you strong today. Jersey's coming through really, really strong. But I think that is the energy of Martin Luther King. So I think that's just his energy just pumping through and helping us to just freaking rise and grow and be freaking strong right now, because we have to change. We have to change, because it is a matter of our race right now, like the entire human race. That is what is on the line, okay? So I will leave you guys there. I'm going to do a weekly energy reading on my Patreon. I'm sending you guys so much love and blessings. And if you guys are interested in a reading, soul coaching session, past life reading, or anything like that, you can definitely go to my website in the description box below. If you're new here, definitely be sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.